Okay, we're live.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our first ever live information session for the TACL Political Internship Program. My name is Kelly Shee, and I'm this year's director of the internship program, and I want to thank you for tuning in. So we're going to go over some information today. We're going to start out with some information on the Taiwanese American Citizens League, TACL in general, about the internship program and its different components, and also about applications and admissions and the timeline. So we also have on the call with us Austin Coe. Thank you, Austin, for putting all of this together. He is our marketing chair this year and will also be helping me in presenting. Do you want to say hi, Austin?
Hello, everyone.
Cool. So let's get started. So the Taiwanese American Citizens League is a nonprofit organization. We were founded in 1985. And the mission of the Taiwanese American Citizens League is to better the lives of Taiwanese Americans here in the United States. So the mission statement officially includes 4 components, and they come together to the acronym LINC. It stands for leadership, identity, networking, and citizenship. And we hope to include all of those components in all of the work we do, especially here in the internship program. So with the internship program, there are several different components. We have the internship itself. We have the workshops that are held throughout the summer, and we have mentorship and an advocacy project. So what the internship does is it takes college students that are interested in Taiwanese American issues, and it places them in offices of elected officials throughout the summer for about 8 weeks. And through this, students are able to learn the ins and outs of the political process, brush up on a lot of their professional development skills, and overall get a great experience of what it means to be a leader and be able to impact our Taiwanese American community. So the first and biggest part of this, obviously, is the actual internship in the office. So students are placed in an elected official's office, and they work there full-time, so 40 hours a week with all of the other interns, and they do a wide variety of tasks. So this includes engaging with different constituents through phone calls, emails, drafting letters, and it also involves some work on some of the elected officials' legislative issues. So you might be helping to write memos or attend hearings and take notes. So you get a really well-rounded exposure to what's going on in our current political scene and how the inner workings of all of these offices really work. So that's what you're doing for the bulk of the time, and you're in there for 8 weeks. And then there's also all of the other stuff that TACL puts on outside of your regular 40 hours a week internship, which is all of our workshops. So you start out the summer with a 2-day orientation where you get to know, first of all, your fellow intern class, all of us who are involved with putting the program on, and also deep diving into a lot of different issues. So we talk about Taiwanese American identity, we talk about the political processes that you will be learning about throughout the summer, we talk about the advocacy project, professional development, how to network, and all of these things that build you a strong foundation for the rest of the summer. And throughout the summer, we'll have various workshops on different issues that are important to you and your own development, such as leadership, identity, networking, and advocacy, and all of these things that are important to building you into a really great leader. And we also have a couple other components, including our advocacy project and mentorship program that Austin is going to talk about.
Hi, everyone. Once again, my name's Austin. I was a PIP intern just this past summer. So I'll be talking about the advocacy project. So basically, the advocacy project is something that all of the TACL-PIP interns work on each summer. It's a summer-long project where we learn more about Taiwanese American issues, and we take this opportunity to inform offices, legislative offices, about TACL and serve as representatives of the Taiwanese American community. So one example of an issue that we tackled last year is the issue of disparities in healthcare access for Taiwanese Americans. So what the project involved was doing research on the topic itself, and then we put together that research and put together little presentation and one-pagers for these offices. So we visited the offices of officials who represented us in our hometowns or where our schools were. Um, so we went to these offices and we went to them with an ask to support legislation that helps to fix the issues that we're seeking to get more awareness of. So with our advocacy project, we visited many offices and we had offices support a bill that would increase language services and healthcare for Taiwanese Americans and other minorities. So that advocacy project was kind of the bulk of what we did together outside of our 40 hours a week. In addition to the advocacy project, we also had a mentorship component. As a part of the program, each intern gets a mentor, and the mentors are typically alumni of the program itself. So this past summer, all of us in DC, we got to be paired up with mentors, and these people would check up with us during our internship, read our weekly reports, and just be our friends and help us as navigate a new city with our internship and our advocacy project. And we're really great friends with these mentors to this day, so it's one of the really valuable parts of this program. So with the program, some of the key dates are Friday, February 20th. That's the day that all applications are due for the program, including supplementary materials. In March, that's when interviews and decisions will be made. And then going into the program orientation will last from Saturday to Sunday, June 6th to 7th. The internship itself will begin on Monday, June 8th, and then end on Friday, July 31st. And Saturday, August 1st is the closing ceremony. So with the program, there is a stipend upon successful completion for $1,000 for each intern. Housing is not included in the program, but when you are accepted and confirm your spot in the program, we do our best to help you find housing in DC because it can be very tricky and expensive. As far as the applications are due on February 20th. Completed applications include the completed form online, which is available on our website, one letter of recommendation or a list of 2 to 3 references that you can list in the online application, your most recent resume and your most recent transcript from your school, and a writing sample that's about 1 to 5 pages, and this can be anything that gives us a sense of your writing skill. So all materials must be received at internship@tacl.org by Friday, February 20th. So that concludes the presentation portion of this session. So if anyone has any questions, you can ask us now in the live chat. If you're watching this later, you can email us at internship@tacl.org and find out more. And our website is on the slide. So now we're going to move on to some questions. Okay, Kelly, so one question that we get sometimes is who is allowed to apply for the program?
So to be eligible to apply for the TACL Political Internship Program, you need to be a college student, and that means for this year you can be entering college in fall of 2015, or you can have just graduated in spring of 2015, anywhere in between those.
All right, great. So do you have to be interested in politics to do this internship?
So I would say you definitely should be interested, as that is a lot of what we're doing, but it's not something that you have to see yourself doing for the rest of your life, or you don't have to be currently a politics major. Like we always say, politics are part of so many parts of our lives, our daily lives, and it's important for all of us to understand it. Especially as leaders in our community, to advocate for our community, to understand the process. Um, so you don't necessarily have to be studying it right now or be pursuing it for the rest of your life, but we definitely encourage you to have an interest in learning more about it.
Great. So what kind of support do interns get in DC? We know that they have mentors and they're part of this program, but sometimes navigating a new city can be kind of difficult. So what kind of support do we provide for the interns?
Definitely. So, from before you even arrive in DC, we'll be in contact with you to help you arrange housing, help you find good options, let you know, like all the ins and outs of living in DC. In addition to the mentor you're going to get, who's going to be one-on-one, so they will be there all the time to answer your questions. We also have a team here in DC, 7 or 8 of us who live here, work here, and are dedicated to the program and ensuring your success. So you can reach out to us and definitely personally me whenever you need anything.
Awesome. And then in terms of the advocacy project, so what kind of projects have past groups of interns worked on for the advocacy project?
Sure. So I can give you a personal example. So I personally was an intern about 5 years ago, and I was in our LA program at the time, and we worked on a local California issue on the disaggregation of APA data. So the reason that this issue is so important is because we really can't tackle issues, and more importantly, for a lot of government people, you'll know we can't fund issues unless we have real hard data on them. And for the APA community, we so often get lumped together into one big demographic when really we are so diverse, and each community, be it the Taiwanese, Chinese, Filipino, Vietnamese, all have very different needs. For example, in health or in other socioeconomic indicators, we are very different. And to have this data, we need it broken out when it's collected, for example, with the census. So we advocated in Sacramento, in California state capital, for a bill to be passed on this. And you also heard Austin talk about their healthcare advocacy. We've also had immigration projects. You, the interns, get to choose what project you want to work on that has an impact on our Taiwanese American community.
Great. How much outside work do you think should be spent on the advocacy project, and do you think it's manageable with the full-time internship?
Yeah, it's definitely manageable. It's something that we get the ball rolling on at the very beginning of the internship, so you can start thinking about it. And when we get the ball rolling in Advocacy 101, we give you a timeline for when you should be hitting certain milestones. For example, when you should choose your project, when you should have your research done, when you should finish making your physical materials like your one-pager, and when you should have all of your lobby visits scheduled. I don't want to put a hard number on it. You, Austin, probably remember better than me how much time you spent on it last year. But I would say that it's definitely very manageable. Do you want to take that one, Austin?
Yeah, it's definitely manageable. Sometimes the challenge was just getting together in the same room, but once we were all together, it was we pretty much got the ball rolling and things happened very smoothly. We would usually spend part of our weekends working on it. Definitely still had time to do other activities and do fun things around the city. Great. So something else that sometimes comes up is how does the program decide where interns will be placed, and how does that process work?
Sure. So at the same time that we're reaching out to all of you to get your applications, we're also reaching out to different elected officials' offices based on different things, where we think our interns will be coming from, which elected officials are involved in Taiwanese American issues and care about our communities, various things like this. And it's sort of a matching process once we have our interns decided and our offices decided. So as you can see on the application, we ask you if you have a preference of what kind of office you want to work in, what you would say your political views are, because generally we try to align that with the office that you're working in. And then we also present the office with some profiles of interns that they can choose from, and hopefully they will choose someone who they feel like fits in well in their office. So it's a discussion to be had, but we definitely work our hardest to assign you to where we think you'll be the most successful.
Okay, great. So in terms of applying for the program, what kind of writing sample would you recommend that students submit with their application?
Sure. So it definitely should not be something that you're writing specifically for this application. It should be something that you've already written, probably for school, or if you've had other internships where you needed to do research papers or write something sort of long form, then that's something you can submit. I would recommend, if you have, written in the past about certain issues that you care about or something along the lines of a social issue, that you would submit something like that. But if that's not what you study and that's not what you have, then just submit something that you feel like showcases your writing style.
All right, great. Do you have any other tips or things that you want to bring up with our viewers today?
So I just want to encourage you all to apply, even if it's something that you just stumbled on a whim and you might have sort of a passing interest in politics. I know for me it was personally a really rewarding experience and really fun as well. I want to emphasize that. And always feel free to reach out to me directly if you have any questions. I will respond directly to your internship@tacl.org emails. And just a reminder that our applications are due February 20th, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
All right, thanks, Kelly. So that concludes our presentation for tonight. So once again, applications are due February 20th, and you can send questions to internship@tacl.org, and any other details that you might need will be in the description box below. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.